Welcome back to Arms for Thought. This video is going to be the first in a series where we do a deep dive on various firearms related topics. This video we're going to be talking about LPVOs. LPVOs, or low power variable optics, are optics that go from 1x all the way up to 4, 6, 8, now even 10x magnification. The main selling point of LPVOs is that you can have one optic do everything. You can set it to 1x and treat it like a red dot for close engagements, and then you can crank it up to 6, 8, or 10x and it's a rifle scope, and now you can shoot farther. Now, there are a lot of criteria to evaluate a class of optic, and I'm going to give you my takes on what's important, what's not, and compare them to the other options available. Comparing an LPVO to just a red dot is kind of the industry standard for anything under 100 yards. A lot of people will talk about shooting beyond it, and yeah, sure you can, but magnification gets real nice once you get up there to 300 yards. Flipped aside magnifiers allow you to have a red dot for close range and a quick way to get zoom on demand. These typically come 2 to 3x magnification, but Vortex now has a 6x magnifier that allows you to get much more range capability with the magnifier combo. Overall, the holographic and magnifier option is a great combo if you're going to be more focused at close range, with the occasional shot out to 400 or so. The LPVO has better reticle options for shooting distance, and some models offer better magnification and glass clarity than a magnifier combo can provide. So I would pick a holographic and magnifier combo if you're going to be doing a lot of shooting under night vision. The holographic sight will do a lot better than an LPVO. If you know you're going to be taking a lot of shots at distance, past 200 yards, an LPVO will really step away from the EOTech with a magnifier. Prism optics are fixed magnification scopes, typically lower in power than an LPVO at 4 to 5x. And most can accommodate a red dot on top. The classic example is an ACOG with a piggybacked RMR, but there are other options available. Primary Arms and Vortex both make Prism optics that can accommodate a red dot. I would choose a Prism with a red dot combo if I know I'm really going to beat the crap out of a rifle. You can run over an ACOG and RMR with a tank and they'll keep on going fine. You might break the tank. An LPVO, not so much. It does give you more capability, a little bit more weight, but it does not have the durability of a fixed magnification. There's just less moving parts. The LPVO does have that extended capability, and a lot of situations I've been shooting an ACOG and just wished for a little bit more magnification, either for target identification or to make a longer distance shot, and an LPVO can provide that. MPVOs, or medium power variable optics, are the class of rifle scope that goes from 3 or 4x all the way up to 12, 15, something like that. I would choose an MPVO if you have something dedicated for distance. Adding a little red dot offset for that rifle is not really going to add that much weight. Typically, if you're shooting a distance, you already have a bipod and a suppressor and a whole bunch of weight already slapped on there. What's an extra few ounces for a red dot? A MPVO with a red dot on paper gives you the most capability, and you would think it would be the jack of all trades. You can use the offset red dot for 10 yards, you can use the real rifle scope for 1,000. Everywhere in between, there's some combination of that combo that will allow you to make that shot. The downside is size, weight, and durability. An MPVO and red dot combination is just impractical for most shooting. It's too heavy, it's too big, and it's not durable enough for most applications. I have an MPVO on my SPR build because I'm not clearing rooms with this. It's got a 20-inch barrel. I'm shooting paper at 500 yards. So now the question becomes, what LPVO do you buy? Do you buy the 1 to 6, the 1 to 8, the 1 to 10? On paper, it seems obvious. Of course you grab the 1 to 10. It gives you all of the capability of the 1 to 6, plus it goes to 10. Nobody makes a LPVO that goes to 11 yet.
These go to 11.
The problem comes from the inherent physics on how light and lenses and all the inherent scope magic works. to the point where most people will recommend something like the Razor Gen 2 1:6 over the Razor Gen 3 1:10. 1:8x does seem like a happy middle ground where you can creep up in the capability, and if you spend the money on a nice one, you can do so without losing too much quality. If you really want the 1:10 capability, I'd suggest getting a 2:10 instead and slap a red dot on top. 1:10 seems to go too far into the master of none side of the jack of all trades argument. So what's the deal with the prices then? If I have two scopes that are both 1:6x, why is some less than $500 and some over $1,000? We're going to be taking a look at the Vortex Strike Eagle 1:6 and the Vortex Razor 1:6. The Razor gets better optics, clarity, durability, color accuracy, and light transmission. What that basically means is it's not going to make a big difference if you're just grabbing your rifle, grabbing a couple buddies, and going to shoot at the range in the afternoon. The optics, clarity, and light transmission is not relevant when it's a sunny day out and you're shooting both side by side. Yes, the Razor gets a little bit more light transmission, but both are totally adequate. The difference in light transmission really comes into play at those dusk and dawn hours, where the sun is setting, things are getting darker, but it's not quite night vision time. Having that little extra light transmission really extends the capability, and you can use a higher end LPVO for longer during the day than a budget LPVO. Generally, LPVOs are not used under night vision, so if you're going to shoot magnified under nods, that gets into this whole thing with clip-on night vision devices, and that's out of scope for this video. But generally, if you want to have an LPVO on your rifle and you want to passively aim through night vision, you put a pistol red dot above the LPVO. This brings the red dot high enough to where you can comfortably shoot under nods, and generally is a better experience than trying to just use an LPVO. Now for recommendations, I don't want to get too much into specific makes and models because there's so many available and it's constantly changing. But that aside, here are some quick and dirty recommendations for each price range. For under $400, the Vortex Strike Eagle Primary Arms SLX and Burris RT6. For under $1,000, the Vortex PST Gen 2, Trijicon Credo, or the Striker HD 1:6 are good choices. If you're willing to spend over $1,000 and get a really nice LPVO, I'd take a look at the Vortex Razor, the Sig Tango, Night Force Actar, or the Kahles K18i 1:8. And if you want to ignore everything that I just said and run out and buy one thing right now, I would recommend the Vortex Viper PST Gen 2 1:6 with a mount combo at around $500. That's probably the best value on the market today, and with somebody ask me without context what optic I should get, that's generally my recommendation. LPVOs are a great option for giving capability to shooters that don't have the budget to splurge on an ACOG or splurge on all these different mounts and red dots and adapters. The offset red dot alone is the same price as some LPVOs. After you shoot your rifle with an LPVO, you may decide, actually, my range only goes out to 100 yards. I should switch to an EOTech and a magnifier to get better capability at the distance. Or, actually, I really like long distance shooting, so I'm going to switch to an MPVO with an offset red dot because I want that extra magnification for those distance shots. Or, I really just beat the shit out of my rifle and I want an ACOG and RMR to pretend I'm a Marine in 2003. I wanted to make this video kind of a basic overview. If you want to dive deeper into the weeds and look at specific optics and models and compare this and that and the other thing in more depth, I would recommend checking out Superset CA, CDUS, Delta 34, Brassfax, Hop, or Sage Dynamics. I'll have all those channels linked down in the description. They do a great job of really getting into the details of different LPVOs if you're interested. If you made it this far, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.